Media.
Hey there, Ronnie here. Real quick before we get into the main episode, I just want to let you know that early bird registration for the Redefined Network Marketing event happening May 4, 5, and 6 is now open. That's right. You can register at ronniecruz.com/redefine. I'm going to be teaching you everything that I've learned about online marketing in the last year and a half so that you can take your business online, on social media, and build massive success into this next decade and beyond. Again, you can go to ronniecruz.com/redefine. You're going to get an early bird pricing. Don't wait because this early bird registration is going to expire. Make sure you register today. Hi, my name is Ronnie Cruz. After almost 2 decades as a career network marketer, I realized that despite continual work on my personal and professional development, that I had hit a massive brick wall. So I took a deep and honest look at myself, top to bottom, hoping to find answers, and my search led me to one conclusion. The definitions I held of my business, of my world, of my life were the very things holding me back. If I wanted to change, if I wanted to grow beyond my current circumstances, I had to wipe the slate clean and redefine. This show is dedicated to helping you identify the belief systems, the mindsets, the very definitions that have held you back, and then help you break through those limitations to finally create the life you've been working so hard to achieve. Welcome to the Redefine Podcast.
All right, welcome back to the show. Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to talk about the top 5 reasons why people are afraid of content creation. Now, this is going to be a 2-part series, so if you're not already following the show, go ahead and hit the plus sign at the top of whatever app you happen to be listening on. And if you're watching this on YouTube, of course, hit the subscribe button down below. Now, you'll also notice, for those of you listening on the podcast, there's much less background noise. It's because I am recording in the truck once again. I apologize to my YouTube viewers. If you're watching this on YouTube, there's just really no other way for me to get this recording done outdoors. It's so incredibly breezy where we are at the location. We're sitting in a valley, and of course, it's that time of year, right? The temperature swings, in any given day creates a very breezy conditions. And with the particular recording equipment that I have, which is just the earbuds, it doesn't even have to be a strong breeze for it to sound like an absolute hurricane on the recording. So I'll have to invest in a wireless mic, with the windscreen and noise canceling capabilities. So yeah, it's ever a work in progress, right? Like my production value is always something that I'm trying to tweak over time, which actually this is reason number 1. So let's get right into it. Top 5 reasons why people are afraid of content creation. The first one is they can't or don't know how to make videos or content of pro quality, right? And I totally get it, right? Like we want to put our best face forward, our best foot forward. We want our content to look and sound as best as possible, especially given, the space today. Like what I've really noticed lately is production value in people's content, especially on the, on video content. It's just incredible. Like really, content creators have really leveled up their game, and I makes sense. I think from a consumer standpoint, since most or majority of consumers scroll through socials, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, etc., YouTube, for entertainment and distraction, the content creators have to really level up their game from a production value to attract and catch their attention and keep their attention, right? So it makes perfect sense. The demand for pro quality and high quality production value has definitely increased. However, for me, it still doesn't matter. I think, well, not that it doesn't matter. Let me take that back. I think in terms of the ladder of importance of, the things that you got to consider for your content, production value is still very low on that ladder for me personally. I would rather you pay attention to the quality of the value in the content, right? Because, if your value is of a high enough quality, then your audience is going to be more than forgiving of the production value. And especially if you're new, I mean, we all start off as disasters anyway. In fact, I should probably share at some point the different, my evolution as a content creator from, back in 2007, 2008 when I first started my YouTube channel for my business. So yeah, I mean it's one of those things that, number one, it's never going to be perfect, right? You're never going to get like the perfect quality content as in terms of production value, unless that's your thing, right? Unless you're a professional, photographer, videographer, and all that stuff, then you'll have a little bit of advantage. But for most of you getting started, you're just the average, user and producer of content. So don't be afraid to, be very amateurist with the production value. It's totally fine as long as you have very simple setup to convey your message. That's what really matters. That's what really matters. And of course you'll get better over time, right? My reels, if you look at it, they've definitely improved over time as far as quality and production level. And so it's just an evolution. You never come out worrying about coming out of the gate with pro quality content from a production value standpoint. It's never gonna happen. What ends up happening, what I've seen, more often than not, is people spend so much time on production value that they never end up actually publishing a single thing because they're too concerned about how their content is going to be received from a production value standpoint. And then really, at the root of it, it's just your own judgments, right? Like it doesn't exist anywhere else other than how you think your content is going to be perceived, right? Focus more on the value of the message that you're delivering, and the production value will get better over time. All right, so that's number one. Number two, people don't want to be on camera, right? And I get that too. Like the one of the biggest fears, that we always hear is that people are afraid of public speaking. And so, being on camera and speaking and producing content is another version of that. However, I want to encourage you to do so because, you can do different types of content, right? Of course, you can, do blogs, you can do audio content like a podcast. I encourage you to at least do audio because there's more layers to the communication than just the written word, right? And so the more you allow yourself to be on video and to be on audio, the better you'll be able to convey the ideas and communicate the thing that you're trying to communicate to your audience and to your followers. Otherwise, then there's a lot of room with just the written word for interpretation, right? Remember, I think majority, like a good majority of communication is body language, right, and visual communication. So I encourage you to do that, and also understand that like, to put it in context, I really think that you're already doing that in the first place, right? If you are watching this, if you are participate on any social media, chances are you've posted a picture of yourself or a video of yourself doing something recently to update your followers on any of the social platforms. So to do it intentionally and purposefully with a message in mind, I think is more what really the fear is, because again, it's the fear of being judged. It's the fear of being criticized for that particular content that is purposeful, as opposed to just updating people on the dinner that you're having or the movie that you're watching. Right? So you're already doing it. Just the intentionality behind being a content creator, I think people worry about more. And it's natural. Again, it's a natural fear to have. It's never going to get easier if you don't do it. So just rip the Band-Aid off and get out there and produce content. And again, especially if you're new, it's okay to be a disaster. It really is. You'll get better over time. And the quicker you throw yourself into it, to putting yourself on camera, the quicker you'll become comfortable with it, and it won't be a big deal, right? As opposed to prolonging, the hesitation, prolonging the anxiety, prolonging the discomfort, right? Just rip that Band-Aid off and you'll get used to it, and you won't even have to think twice. All right, so the last one for this episode is number 3. There's so many platforms and so many different strategies, right? Like, which one do I start on, right? And so they're immediately overwhelmed and intimidated by the whole prospect of being a content creator in the first place. And I totally understand. I was completely intimidated by online marketing in this whole space when I first started in 2022, at the beginning of 2022. So my suggestion is you don't have to be on all of them at once, right? Expand into that over time. Choose the one that you're most comfortable with. Choose the one that you enjoy the most. Choose the one, and that's probably going to be the one platform that you spend the most time on, right? If you spend the most time on Instagram, for example, then let that be your primary, right? For me, I love podcasting. That's my primary. I love YouTube. I added that. And then, with Facebook now, that was very, very comfortable space for me as well. So, just slowly add these things as you go, expand into multiple platforms. But at the very beginning, just focus on one. And then, watch what people are doing on that platform. The people that are in your space, number one, and the people that are able to kind of gain a lot of traction. It's really, really easy when you treat this as a watch and learn and then do what other people who are successful doing, right? So try not to have too many ideas in your mind about what content creation looks like. Really narrow it down to a very manageable handful of specific things. And when it comes to which platform to be on, just pick one. Just start off with one. And again, pick the one that you spend the most time on, the one that you enjoy the most, and that's going to be the easiest transition. Over time, you'll of course eventually expand into other platforms, if not as many, all the main platforms as you can get on. So yeah. I mean, it's real simple. And again, these fears are natural. When I got into this space at the beginning of 2022, I was very, very intimidated, but I just threw myself into it. And that's the main thing, right? There's no such thing as perfect. I think I said that at the very beginning. And if I didn't, I'm going to say it again. There's no such thing as perfect. I love the saying, and I don't know if she coined the phrase, but I heard it first from Jenna Kutcher. Done is better than perfect, right? So just create your content, publish it, and don't think twice about, the bells and whistles. Don't think twice about nailing the message and getting it absolutely perfect, because perfect doesn't exist, right? Getting it done, getting it published and out into the space is more important than trying to, craft the most perfect piece of content. Because it's just a waste of time, really. It's just a waste of time. You never know how your content is going to land anyways, right? So, numbers 4 and 5 tomorrow. So make sure you tune in. Again, if you're not already subscribed to this channel, hit the subscribe button down below, or hit the plus sign on whatever app you happen to be listening on. And then, until next time, be well, be safe. We'll see you in the next episode.